Hello Taurus, and welcome to your reading for February 2022. Okie dokie Taurus, you're starting the month in a really good position. I've got the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups here. So new starts, fresh starts, and looking really good. You remember those people that I talked about last month? How could you forget? Because I was fairly brutal with cutting toxic people out of your life. Even though I feel like you've managed to do a bit of a job on it and you've done a pretty good job of it, they're still floating around in the background. So I'm happy to see that they've gone to the background of your reading. They're not up in my face like they were last month, but they're still sort of floating around in the background here, which means you're still going to be affected by them. Not as much as I feel it was last month, but definitely still sort of happening in the background of things and still giving you a bit of worry and stress as well. I'm not being as dramatic, I most certainly am not, but it's still not quite finished yet. So maybe we're just dealing with the tail end of, you know, how we were tying up loose ends, getting rid of the dead wood. Maybe we're just sort of dealing with the tail end of that process, because you don't just decide to cut people off and then they're just gone. It very rarely happens that way. So we'll just get through that month knowing that you're going to get to the place that you need to get to, but it's just the process that you're going through. So nothing that you need to be losing sleep over, because I see you losing sleep over that too. Now, other things going on here. Are you thinking about moving, relocating, something like that? Because I've got a move, a relocation, something here with the house. So whether you're just changing address or actually relocating entirely to another town or city or something like that, it's definitely coming through towards the second half of February. I really like what I see here, I have to say, Taurus. If you are thinking of doing that, which that move involves work and home and everything else around it, then I kind of want to tell you to go for it. I feel like that maybe it's time for you to make some changes. You are an earth sign, you don't like a lot of change, but maybe you've come to the conclusion that it might be time to make some changes now in your life, whether that be any or all of those things. How about you just tackle one thing at a time? But I feel like there's changes coming in and they're beautiful new beginnings. Other things going on here too. So if there's any Taurians watching this who are starting some sort of legal action, so whether it be a separation or something around the house, some sort of legal papers that need to be documented through the process, I just want you to be careful you're not taken advantage of during that process, because I feel like there's something going on that you're not aware of in the background of this situation. So if you're going through that, just be mindful and make sure you read all the fine print, or you're just asking a lot of questions moving forward about how that's going to turn out in the end, because I feel like you're heading in the right direction, but I just don't want you to get tripped up by technicalities or someone trying to trick you into signing papers and then you not realizing exactly what you've signed. I hope that makes sense as I'm saying that. Now that can also mean it could be going for a new job or something like that, but definitely keep your eyes open about anything to do with signing papers. I just want you to make sure you're reading everything that you sign. Okay. Now, Taurus, you're still not sleeping very well, and I get why, because I'm still dealing with the tail end of everything, but your head is spinning around and around and around. Your thoughts are just going at 1,000 miles an hour, and because I've got a lot of changes going on in your spread this month, we don't want to make any huge decisions when we're not thinking properly, and I feel like you're not thinking properly. Right in the middle of the month is where I don't want you to make any huge decisions, right around the middle of February, because that seems to be when you're a little bit all over the place in your head and you're not quite sure what you're doing with yourself. Before and after that, I'm okay with any big decisions. It's just around the middle of Feb. Not a great time to make any life-changing decisions. But I'm only giving you that time. It's not a huge amount of time, just that little space in the middle. So the other things I want to talk to you about, Taurus, is I know you've been hurt, okay, because I've seen it happening the last couple of months. You've been hurt by people, and the thing is that I see here that you're building up some walls around yourself. So, you know, we tend to do that. We get protective of our own hearts and our own feelings and our own emotions and everything else. And so we build these walls, and it makes it very difficult for people to get to know us, or to get through our walls, or for us to have better relationships. So your job too, Taurus, is probably to soften out a little bit. You've had to be tough dealing with these other people. You have had to be tough, I see that. But once you've gone through that, I'd want you to let those walls back down again, because I want you to find happiness again in all your relationships, whatever is going on around you. Try not to be too icy with any new people that you meet. I understand you've got the walls up, but you can't leave them there forever, because if you leave them there too long, it just becomes normal, and then you'll never get to know anyone, or people will think they can't get to know you because you're too protective of yourself. That's just something to be mindful of. I'm not going to, you know, say, oh my gosh, you can't do that. I understand, but I just need for that to be maybe temporary at the moment, and for you to be mindful of that as you go through February, because you're coming out of February a little bit protective of yourself. And like I said, I get it, but we only want that to be temporary. Okay, so that is February for you, Taurus. Enjoy your February, and I will see you in March. Bye bye.